Truck owners, let's stop pretending this debate is friendly because it is not. Half the internet says Japanese trucks are basically immortal, and the other half says if it is not American, it is not a real truck. But after 100,000 miles, the badge on the grille does not care about your loyalty, your YouTube comments, or your grandpa's opinion. So today we are going to settle it the hard way. American trucks versus Japanese trucks. Who actually survives when the honeymoon is over and the odometer starts telling the truth? The 100,000-mile truth. Before we start this American versus Japanese truck war, remember this. Even the biggest names can get hit hard. General Motors recalled hundreds of thousands of trucks and SUVs with the 6.2-liter V8 because of potential engine problems that could lead to serious damage or failure. We are talking about familiar names like Silverado, Sierra, Tahoe, Yukon, and Escalade. But Toyota is not untouchable either. Newer Tundra, which many people expected to be the safe Japanese answer, has also had serious engine-related recalls connected to its twin-turbo V6. So this is not a simple story where American trucks are junk and Japanese trucks are perfect. That is lazy thinking. That is why 100,000 miles matters. Before that, almost any truck can still look good and feel strong. After that, the truth starts coming out. Missed maintenance, hard towing, rust, cheap repairs, tired transmissions, weak suspension, and overworked engines all begin to show. American trucks deserve respect here. Ford, Chevy, GMC, and Ram dominate the full-size truck world because they offer more engines, more trims, more towing options, and more heavy-duty setups than the Japanese brands. They also have a huge advantage after 100,000 miles: support. Mechanics know them, parts are everywhere, and common problems are well documented. A truck that breaks but is easy to fix can survive a very long time. So the real question is not just who builds better trucks. The real question is, after 100,000 miles, which truck is still worth owning? And if you like honest truck comparisons without brand worship, hit that subscribe button now, because today nobody gets protected. Where American trucks get risky. American trucks can be strong, capable, and easy to repair, but they are not automatically safe buys after 100,000 miles. Their biggest strength is variety. Their biggest weakness is also variety. You cannot just say, I bought an F-150, and know the whole story. Which engine? Which transmission? Which year? Was it towing? Was it tuned? Was it lifted? Did the owner actually service it, or just put bigger tires on it and call it a build? The F-150 can be excellent, and many go well past 100,000 miles. But modern versions can also be complicated. Turbo engines, advanced transmissions, hybrid systems, sensors, and electronics are great when they work. When they age, complexity can become expensive. Chevy and GMC have a similar issue. Silverado and Sierra trucks have a long history of strong engines and easy repairs, but modern GM trucks are not immune from major problems. Recent 6.2-liter V8 recalls reminded buyers that even a traditional American V8 can carry risk in the wrong production window. Ram is emotional because people love how they drive. The ride, interiors, Hemi personality, and Cummins diesel reputation have created loyal fans. But after 100,000 miles, Ram ownership depends heavily on maintenance, electronics, suspension condition, and how hard the truck was used. So the honest rule is simple: the right American truck can survive a very long time. The wrong one can punish you badly. Why Japanese trucks have the reputation? Now let's talk about Japanese trucks. Toyota, Honda, and Nissan built their reputations differently. They usually do not chase the biggest numbers, loudest engines, or most aggressive luxury trims. Their strength is more boring, but more valuable: long-term dependability. The Toyota Tacoma is the obvious example. It is not the most powerful mid-sized truck, not the most comfortable, and used prices can be ridiculous. But buyers keep paying because they trust it after the warranty is gone. A Tacoma with 120,000 miles does not scare people the way many other trucks do. The older Toyota Tundra has the same kind of reputation. It was thirsty, simple, and not always as modern as American half-tons, but it became respected for durability. For buyers who keep trucks for 10 or 15 years, boring reliability is not boring. It is the whole point. Honda Ridgeline is different. Some truck owners refuse to call it a real truck because it is not body-on-frame. But for commuting, Home Depot runs, camping gear, light towing, family trips, and bad weather, it makes a strong argument. Nissan is more mixed. The Frontier can be old school in a good way, but it does not have Tacoma's resale strength. The Titan had a strong V8 feel, but it never reached the same market position as Toyota or the American Big Three. So the Japanese advantage is real. It is not magic. It is usually about simpler ownership, strong resale, conservative engineering, and fewer surprises. Where Japanese trucks are not perfect. Now, Toyota fans, do not get too comfortable. Japanese trucks are not immune to problems. A Toyota badge does not cancel bad maintenance, rust, towing abuse, or a bad production run. The newer Toyota Tundra proves that clearly. Moving from the old V8 formula to a twin-turbo V6 brought serious engine-related recalls. That does not mean every new Tundra is doomed. That would be unfair. But it does mean nobody should say, "It's a Toyota, don't worry about it." That is not research. That is fan behavior. Tacoma also has limits. It may be reliable, but it cannot tow like a heavy-duty truck. It is not as comfortable as many full-size pickups. And because used Tacomas hold value so well, buyers sometimes overpay for high-mileage trucks that still need suspension work, tires, brakes, frame inspection, and maintenance. The Ridgeline is smart and practical, but it is not built for commercial hauling or serious heavy towing. And Nissan trucks can be underrated, but they are not automatically Toyota level just because they are Japanese. So yes, Japanese trucks often win in normal ownership, but they do not win every category. And if you are still watching, hit subscribe. Because this is the kind of truck conversation brand loyalists usually do not want to have honestly. Daily owner versus work owner. Here is where the debate finally becomes clear. If you are a normal private owner, Japanese trucks usually have the edge. If your truck life is commuting, light hauling, weekend projects, road trips, snow, camping, and occasional towing, a Tacoma, older Tundra, Ridgeline, or clean Frontier can make a lot of sense after 100,000 miles. These trucks appeal to people who want low drama. They may not dominate on paper, but they make high mileage feel less scary. That is a major reason they hold value. But if you are a work owner, American trucks fight back hard. If your truck is a business tool, if you tow often, haul heavy, run job sites, pull trailers, or need a 3/4 ton or 1 ton truck, American brands are the clear leaders. Toyota and Honda do not really compete in that heavy-duty space. That is why many online arguments are fake. A Tacoma and a Ram 3500 are not doing the same job. A Ridgeline and a Silverado 2500 HD are not built for the same buyer. A Tundra and an F450 are not the same tool. So when someone says, Japanese trucks last longer, ask, for what kind of owner? And when someone says, American trucks are tougher, ask, in what kind of use? Both can be true depending on the job. And this is where the comment section gets interesting. If you own a truck with over 100,000 miles, drop the year, model, mileage, and biggest repair in the comments. Real owner experience is often more useful than brand arguments. What to buy after 100,000 miles? Now let's make this practical. If you are shopping for a used truck with over 100,000 miles, stop shopping by badge first. Shop by condition. Look underneath. Rust can kill a great truck faster than an engine problem. A reliable drivetrain sitting on a rotten frame is not a reliable truck anymore. Check service records. Oil changes, transmission service, differential fluid, and cooling system maintenance all matter. A truck that towed heavy without proper service is not the same as a truck that mostly commuted on the highway. Watch for modifications. Big tires, cheap lifts, tunes, poor wiring, deleted emissions equipment, and rough off-road use can destroy the value of a truck that looks good in photos. Pay attention to the transmission. Buyers obsess over engines, but after 100,000 miles, the transmission can decide whether a truck is healthy or tired. Drive it cold and warm. Feel the shifts. Watch for delay, hunting, or harsh engagement. Also, do not ignore electronics. A basic work trim with fewer gadgets may age better than a loaded luxury trim with power steps, air suspension, giant screens, cameras, and sensors. This is why a well-maintained Silverado can beat a neglected Tacoma. A clean F150 can be smarter than a rusty Tundra. A properly serviced Ram can be better than a modified Frontier with no records. At 100,000 miles, you are not just buying the truck, you are buying the previous owner's habits. So who survives after 100,000 miles? For low-drama private ownership, Japanese trucks usually have the advantage. Toyota's proven older platforms, Honda's practical Ridgeline, and well-kept Nissan trucks make sense for buyers who want dependability, resale value, and fewer surprises. But for real work, heavy towing, payload, commercial use, farms, job sites, and serious abuse, American trucks win the bigger fight. Ford Super Duty, Chevy and GMC HD, and Ram heavy-duty models dominate that world because Japanese brands mostly do not compete there. For half-ton trucks, the answer is more complicated. An older Tundra can be a strong long-term bet, but newer models need research. Silverado, Sierra, F150, and Ram 150. O can all survive, but the engine, transmission, year, condition, and maintenance history matter more than the badge. So the real winner is not America or Japan. The real winner is the truck with the right powertrain, clean history, little rust, good maintenance, and no signs of abuse. After 100,000 miles, loyalty gets expensive, evidence gets valuable. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you want more honest truck comparisons without the usual fanboy nonsense. This channel is not here to protect brands. It is here to protect buyers.